All right, this is Calibos, and I think we're doing Botania. I certainly see a bunch of Botania stuff here. So let's look and see where we are, Botania. So we're working our way through the Lunium. I'm just going to force this stupid quest through. You guys can watch me. Quests back, quests edit, and then we're going to Tanya, designer. I mean, we have finished this one. Manual complete. Yes. Alright. Alright, we get a loot chest. It's probably food. Yay, it's not. So, exciting things that we have done. So now we need to do the Lunium, and we can just pop the Lunium here somewhere. Lunium is actually one of the high-end flowers. As you'll notice, it requires a couple of different high-end runes. Sloth, Gluttony, Envy. We need the root. We need Pixie Dust, which is super easy to make. I was going to go over there, but I mean, ooh. Sloth, Gluttony, Envy. We need a redstone root. Neon. Alright, so Lunium, we need 4 green and a gray. So 2 and a gray. So since this is our last gray, we're going to go ahead and make some bone meal. Get some shears. There we go. And we're going to go, there it is, that. Then we're going to pull this apart into petals. And we're going to do that, pull it apart to petals again. Out of 6, and then that. Alright, so we're going to pop that in there. Gray goes there. Pull that out. Pull that out. Check our recipe. I think we have everything. So we're going to bucket. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That gives us a Lunium recipe. So, let's get a chest really quick, I guess. Chest. So if we put a Lunium, right. I guess we'll put it here, and then we'll link it to this pool. Hi. Come over here, guys. Oh no. Got a Bellathorn. Here, let's do this. Let's link that there. Don't you love Bellathorns? So, what do you guys think of the Lunium? It's a great mob spawner. You can tell it's actually using quite a lot of power. And it enables you to get loot, because who doesn't want loot? So let's, now that we've done that, you can see just how great the Lunium is. Let's pick that up. Let's pick that up. Let's pick that up. And so we have a Lunium. Go us. So we're just going to put the Bellathorn back down, and we're going to keep using that for basically, I wouldn't call it security, but just kind of put that in the system. It's a little rough on those of us who aren't seriously interested in doing things, but we have the Lunium. You guys have seen what it does. It is basically a mob spawner. Although it didn't. Did it used to be a mob spawner? I thought you basically put it next to a chest and it spawned loot in it, which is why I put it next to a chest. So we have the Band of Aura, we have the Band of Mana, which honestly should be filling up very, very slowly. Next on our joyous quest here is the Solignolia. I like this one. I like it a lot, and we'll probably see. Let's get rid of that. Solignolia. All right. So this one is going to require 2 brown, a red, a blue, and a redstone. Very simple. So 2 brown, a red. Ooh, I want 1. And a blue. So we put that there, grab 1. And redstone root. Alright. So we have that. We're going to bucket in some water really quick. And we go whack. And boom. So I don't have a magnet going, but pretty much what happens is we put this here, and you know, it's probably, so magnet, let's grab this one, charge. So now I'm going to show you that the magnet is in fact working by doing this. Works, right? So if I come over here, it should grab the coal, but it is not. That's what this does. So pretty exciting. I would typically put it near all of my droppers, so that I don't have to worry about accidentally picking them up with magnets. I still have to worry about picking them up with, you know, just running by, which I do that. Hold on. Sorry, allergies. It's not a thing that I have a great deal of control of this lately. The pollen count is crazy for some reason. Okay, next step. Jaded Amaranthus. We'll get rid of this. It's purple, lime, green, spring, and redstone. So lime, green, spring, and then a redstone root. So we go ahead and take our bucket, we do this, we do that, boom, 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 and jaded amaranthus. So this one is relatively easy to build, and there's a reason for that. So what do you need when you are doing Botania? Well, clearly you need. Are you tied to anything? What are you doing? Flowers. Ta-da! And that is what this does, is you put it near a mana pool and it gives you flowers. I actually, there is a build you can get that uses pretty much vanilla mechanics to just give you flowers forever as long as you have the appropriate mana. Auto harvests and everything. It's very cool. But that's that. Let's do this. And we get a sandwich. Okay. Next step on our journey to flowers here is going to be the Clayconia. Now, I like the Clayconia. Because I have usually an awful time finding clay. So we need 2 light gray, 1 cyan, and earth. So 1 of those, 2 of those. We need a cyan. Cyan goes there, and then we need a rune of earth. Get rid of that. Magical bucket of water. We go boop. 1, 2, 3. Boom, Clayconia. Let's plan ahead. So, Clayconia, you've probably already guessed what it does. That is correct. It makes clay from sand. So, you place a block of sand in the world, and it turns it into clay. Sand is typically a lot easier to find than clay, so, you know, very useful. I think that's actually changed recently in some of the updates, as clay is now a more common find. But that gives us all of Botania. See how much faster it goes when you have a clue what you're doing? So we've done blood magic, we've done embers, we've done roots, we've done all of this. Next step, we're going to do forestry. So we're going to checkbox that. Man, that was so easy. I'm going to chuck that in the bin. So, clockwork engine. Technically, we don't need the clockwork engine because we have a little bit of power sitting around somewhere. Not sure where. Oh my gosh. Clockwork engine. So let's make one of these, toss it in there, one of these, toss it in there, one of these, toss it in there, and that gives us a clockwork engine. So, clockwork engine is really cool. You just kind of like right click it, you'll see how it changes colors, that's you winding it up. And then, you need a power. Well, once it's connected to something, anything that stores power, well, that's not helpful because it's already got stuff in it. But yeah, it doesn't produce a lot of power, but it produces some. And, you know, right now it's probably stored it up. And we just need to wind it up and let it go. So we have this, we have that. It's probably food. It is a chair. We did not have chairs. Now we have chairs. All right, our next step is the carpenter. Carpenter is one of the base blocks. I think we have like 1 million of those sturdy casings. Yeah, because we keep getting them for quests. So, and you'll notice the carpenter now has power. And this is shifted to green. So typically with the carpenter you have a number of recipes. We should probably go find a nice place to do this. I mean, it's forestry. It should technically be outside, I guess. Heck, we'll do it over here. It's fine. Everything is fine. Oh, look. We have. I think those bees are very angry with me. Oops. So we'll do that. We need a ender tank. Whoa, whoa, that was weird. Ender tank. Okay, so we'll need this one. We'll need some lapis. Okay, so pop this down and we'll lapis it up. One, 2, 3. Flip that over, and now this fills with water. A lot of the recipes for power cell. A lot of the recipes for forestry actually come from a carpenter. They're kind of a pain in the butt to automate because you put a recipe in and then you put ingredients in and it will hold the recipe, so then you can actually have a carpenter for every task. Some of them need water, some of them need seed oil, some of them need other things. I forget what it's called. Creosote oil. So we have that. Oh, Sunday roast. More food. Yeah. So let's make the fermenter. So if you are in any way a fan of alcohol, you are aware that generally alcohol is created through a process called fermentation. You may know that even if you aren't a fan of alcohol, because, you know, people know things. So let's put that there. Put in the link card, tell it to go out, put the dirt there. So, what the fermenter does is you put ingredients in it and it ferments it. Basically, kind of you add sugar, because fermentation is basically a process of bacterial breakdown. Different bacteria, usually yeast or something like that, eats sugar and processes it into, you know, other things, various kinds of alcohol or methanol or, you know, something like that. And that is what everybody wants. Conversion kits, go us. So now we need to make a biogas engine. So the biogas engine is kind of a higher tier power producer. The interface is pretty simple. We can put in any of this stuff, and then we put lava in here. Requires a redstone signal, requires fuel. Yeah. So this heats it up. You put whatever liquid biomass in here, and you can see that it's actually got quite a little list of them. Yeah. So that gives us this. It is worthwhile to go through and investigate which ones are going to be the best for you, because typically, squeezer. Typically, what I've found is that different things produce different amounts of stuff. Squeezer. All right. So what the squeezer does is you supply it with something, usually seeds or whatever, and then it compresses it into a liquid. So if we do squeezer recipes, so we'd put in like acorns or something like that, and we would get mulch and seed oil. More seed oil. Blackberry gives us fruit juice, and you can see that there's a couple of different things that put in there, and they'll give you different stuff, and you know, sometimes they'll have a chance of a drop here, and they'll give you some sort of liquid. The liquid's actually what you're trying for, and various liquids can be used in various ways, some of which can go into the fermenter or in fact the biogas engine. Man, it actually sounds like I know what I'm doing with this mod, doesn't it? That's a little weird. Crafting unit. We'll get rid of that. So let's make some circuit boards. Circuit boards, they are kind of like the processors. I mean, it's a circuit board. It does exactly, you know, what it says that it is. But you can set different circuit boards to, you know, in different machines for different effects. Let's go ahead and make some circuit board. So this is one of the ones that we need the carpenter for. We need tin, we need redstone, and we need water. So we come over here and we get some tin. I'm just going to go ahead and get a stack. I'm going to get redstone. We'll get 6 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're just going to go ahead and put this in here. So this is the recipe. You'll notice that it did not take from the stack. I still have all 64. This is just the recipe. So we put these all in here. Then I take the tin, and it isn't starting. And I still have all 64 because it needs that last ingredient. As soon as it has that last ingredient, it will begin crafting the recipe. So we have the one that we need for the quest, and we'll just kind of leave that going because we can. Yes, okay. So we now have a hamster wheel. If we had enough hamsters, we could power the world. So let's go ahead and get the still. So most people have heard of a still. I would be very surprised if you hadn't heard of one. And you probably generally have an idea of what it does. So if we put, for example, resin in here and we heat it up, we'll get turpentine. Canola oil gives us refined. Biomass gives us ethanol. So I mean, we can just keep improving the canola oil. That's what I'm really saying. So if we get we had the refined from the still, throw in crystallized canola seed, that gives us crystallized oil. And then the crystallized oil, if we throw in powdered canola seeds in it, we get the empowered oil. And then what you do with the empowered oil is you can burn it. One bucket gives you 700,000 RF. So it's not super bad, honestly. It just depends on how you want to go through the recipes. And the other thing is biomass gives you ethanol. Well, I cannot talk today. I mean, it's probably my fatigue. Actually, I forgot that we wanted to. You guys wanted to like actually be able to watch the episode, and I forgot to record it. I thought I was doing great too. Like I'm super far ahead on other things. All right, so let's get the peat-fired engine. This one I'm kind of mixed on. If you're in the right environment, you know, it's not bad. Like, if you have peat, then a peat-fired engine is great. Now, you can actually make peat. Did we see something? I don't know. You can actually make peat. But it's a little bit of a process. You just put it in here, it burns like fuel, and you're great. Now, most of these actually do require the biogas, the peat-fired, not the clockwork though. They require an actual redstone signal to work. So you put the fuel in, and then it needs either a lever or, you know, a block of redstone or something. Oh, look, it's Book and Quill. So, next step on our journey through eternity here. Well, actually, it's half an hour now. So we'll go ahead and we'll finish some of this. Now, it's not going to require it, but I will probably... well, we'll see about looking into whether we want to make some peat. I think that we actually require it for some of the blocks up ahead. So we'll see what's going on. I'm not actually all that fond of forestry. It's not a bad mod, but I don't feel that it has really a lot to recommend it. There are other mods that I prefer to use more. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It works really great, actually. Everything is relatively simple to put together. Once you get over the fact that you need to have basically one carpenter for every recipe you want to automate, it's actually not bad. The fact that you can just pipe stuff into it and it works is good. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm glad you did. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you don't. Simple as that. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. You folks have a great night.